Alright, in this battle we are starting from the open sea on a tag on a Deliverance Mastercraft. These are pretty fast boats and they've got a decent spike to them, but they don't have a lot of DPS, but you should still be a little bit wary. Start throwing up all your speed buffs, things like that. Same as any other fight. Once you get within 500 yards, tag them with Identify Weakness, that just keeps them in combat. Now Cedric on the left there has much longer range on his cannon, so he's going to get the shroud off. And there's the shroud. I'm going to try and follow up with a cripple, but my attack misses. Cripple and shroud will stack with each other, but you can't stack Deter Pursuit and cripple. Or sorry, no, you can't stack Deter Pursuit and cut shroud. Cripple enemy stacks with just about every other speed debuff in the game. You'll notice this guy has something like 530 crew, and that's generally kind of difficult to get past when you're in the Algiers like I am, but I'm able to get him low enough that that doesn't matter. Now you'll notice I popped Cheat Death when he turned because I thought he was going to spike me, but he hit Cedric instead. Cheat Death doesn't do you any good if you pop it after they hit you. I just hit his crew. Slowed their crew, dropped him to about 350, but I wasn't quite low enough, so I disabled Sacrifice and then popped a crew recovery. Sacrifice cut your crew down by about 30%, so it's kind of important to take off if you're boarding something that has a lot of crew. Looting screen. Alright, start throwing up all your buffs, same as always. Try and find the enemy captain. There he is. Starting out with the crew this time. If you can get 2 or 3 good hits in on the crew, it'll also get aggression, same as shooting the enemy captain. Pistols are important to use a lot. They do a lot more damage and have a higher chance of hitting. Obviously, it doesn't really matter. You know, you're still going to miss occasionally. But point-blank shot only costs 10 initiative, does a lot of damage, so I use it as often as I can. Unless it's somebody that kites. If somebody is kiting you, it's often better to save it for knockback shot. Against this guy, I'm missing an awful lot during the course of this fight. But he calls his wave of crew. I back up into a corner to get as many of them as I can. Same thing as always. Just use swipe and cleave, get as many of your area of effect attacks in. I'm kind of low on health, so I popped my heal before I would actually have the full effect of it, but that's good because you saw I was still taking damage. Now against a good player, I probably would have retreated to this point and gone back somewhere else where I could get out of combat and recover all of my guard, but he's not a particularly good player. Now right here, what I might have done better was to have tried to get around him so that he would not hit my crew when he goes after me. I'll show you what I mean in a second. he's backing up so that both my crew member and I are in his arc. But since the crew actually do decent damage, I like to keep them around if I can. So what I'll do is run around behind the enemy captain, that way, like this, they can't keep both of us in the arcs, and they have to make a choice as to which target they want to hit.